probably look so horrible right now. You might be wondering why I look sad or just normal like myself, like I always do when I film a video. I'm reading The Strange Dreamer by Laini Taylor at page 514, and it's where, if you have read the book, then you probably know which part is that. It's where the citadel kind of like went sideways and someone falling and stuff like that. So I was actually already spoiled about this part about Sarai becoming that kind of thing, but I didn't expect the scene to be that bloody or that detailed, and how much it would hurt looking at her, reading her, imagining her becoming like that. It's horrible. I don't know what to say. I'm still pretty shocked. I've already been spoiled because I've seen the Muse of Nightmares, and like I couldn't help myself. It's a bad habit, but I couldn't help myself that to look at the very end, since there has been like the word, when I saw the word epilogue at the chapters for the Muse of Nightmares, I couldn't help myself but skip and read the epilogue, because that's just me. It's a horrible habit, but I still do it, even though I know that I shouldn't, but I still do. And I know it's going to be a happy ending, and I'm pretty excited how that is going to be, because I think I'm pretty much at the very end for the first book, and so far it's horrible. But Laini Taylor is great. She's a genius, and still not get over it. Anyway, I'm gonna continue reading the book so that I can head on to Muse of Nightmares. Hey guys, it's me again, and I just finished The Strange Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and what should I say about the book? So this is my first time making a review, so don't hate me if I don't know how to do it, but yeah. So what can you say about the physical appearance of the book? Actually, it's really cool, but I'm just not a fan of the combination of blue and yellow, but still it catches your eye, and the book is pretty big. It's not the thickest book that I've read, but still it's a good number, 500 and something. The moth. I actually first thought that it was a butterfly, but then when I look closely, it's actually moth. I thought it was butterfly because some of them were like this, and I thought it really did look like a butterfly. So I just thought that it was butterflies. So yeah, and then I actually made a bookmark. So it's a bookmark where you can close it so that it can a specific page or something like that. So the first part is I wrote The Strange Dreamer, Laini Taylor, and then on the next side is I draw a moth. It's actually this moth. I copied it on the very on the book itself. So here, that's a moth. I think the bottom part I didn't cut. Well, the bottom part, well, but still, it's just same, right? But yeah, I've been using it, and it's pretty cute. It's a normal paper, and then so that it would be less vulnerable for tearing, I put scotch tape all over it so that it would be shiny and it would be a little bit much more stronger than normal paper. So the content and writing style, it's actually pretty great, because there's like how Laini Taylor told the stories and the dreams that Laszlo has was actually pretty cool, and the way she explained very small details, the way it would come alive in Laini Taylor's words were actually pretty amazing. It would make you imagine even more. So because there's like very small details that would like trigger these images in your brain, and I think it's pretty cool. One of my favorite authors, Rincha Peko, is great too, but I also love Laini Taylor's style, so I'll probably start reading Laini Taylor books. Please start with The Art of Smoke and Bones. I have the audiobook version, and I have not yet read it, so I'll probably start with here listening to it. And then let's move on to characters. Sarai, Laszlo Strange, Feral, Sparrow, Ruby, Minya, Azarine, Arelphane, Isagol, Scathis, everybody. The way Laini Taylor described these characters is so complex because Laszlo Strange is this orphan. Even though at the very start of at the beginning of the story, when they said that Laszlo Strange was an orphan and they don't know where he came from, and then there's also the part of the story where um, they retold that there was this baby who had the same gift as Kathy's, who can control the metal or the mesarthim. I think I forgot the term, or I just don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, the metal. The baby has the gift to control the metal, just like Scathis, and that the goddess of secret stole him away before the carnage. And I had my theories and my suspicions that Laszlo Strange was actually going to be that baby, and it was pretty how to say it, satisfactory, or there's this sense of satisfaction when it actually came true in the story. And I actually really love Sarai's character, and she's this torn between worlds, between the family that she grew up in and the world that she wants, the world where in the Weep, where there's like normal people, and she wants to get that Elilith, I think, that tattoo for like women who are of age or who can bear children or something like that. And then she wants to be able to roam around everywhere in the Weep without being killed or being slaughtered by anyone. And there's also this part of her that hates her dad for what he did, but at the same time how much she's longing for this love of a father, and how much she would want to be part of his world. And there's also a part of her that resents every person in the Weep, well, when she was younger, because of the stories that the great Ellen and Les Ellen told her, the other ghost. And of course there's also Minya, was like this bitchy brat that I just want to like, ugh. And then there's the story of Sparrow and Ruby. I think they're sisters, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Sparrow and Ruby. Ruby is this like firecracker, very the same like her gift. If you see her as a weapon, she's pretty strong, but because of who she is and how she grew up, she didn't want to hurt anyone. And I think that's really cool, that even though her power is born for disaster or destruction, the way she would want to use it is not for the way that she was meant or she was made to be. And I think that's really cool. And then there's also Feral. And then I actually love the power that I really love is, I'm torn between Sarai's power being the Muse of Nightmares, and also Sparrow's power, which is actually giving a life to living things like flowers and stuff like that. And I should also mention Ariel Thane, Ruka, and Azarine, of course, and of course the goddess of despair, Isagol. I think Isagol was like this really bitchy goddess, that what he did to Arelphane is so ruthless, and I think it's one of the worst torture that a person could ever do, or a god could ever do to man. And to be able to play with feelings like that, and to be able to torment a person like that, is so horrible. And I think it justified why Ariel Fane killed Isagol, Scathis, and every god. But I think it does not justify that they like massacred the children. It would be an example for nature versus nurture. Ruby, she was born to be this distraction because of fire, but she grew up with like love and care because of Great Ellen.
Oh my god, my feet are cramming.
She grew up with this love and with Love and Care by Great Ellen and Les Ellen and every other ghost in the Citadel. I think that what made her different from what expect Ruby to be. And of course, there's Minya, who's like this psychotic child who reminds me of the monster child from the movie Orphan. If you have not seen that, you should see that, because that kid is so like psychotic and bitch, like ugh. And she reminds me of Minya so much. Fane and Azarin's love is so tragic. How much they love each other, but because of the Isagol's power and deception with Fane, and kind of like it's horrible.
My feet are cramming.
Okay, so let's move on to the setting. So the setting of the story, the kingdom of Zosmo, and then there's the Weep and their journey, and then all the creatures that was mentioned on the book was actually pretty interesting. And then the ending of the book. I should probably discuss about the ending of the book and how much that destroys me. This is probably a very big spoiler if you have not read the book, because Sarai fell from the citadel, and when she was, I don't know if I should say butchered, but the spear or from the gate kind of like natusok siya sa tunga, so sa iyang dughan. So the way Laini Taylor described that scene and how it felt, and at the scene that, where was that line? Really, this part of the book actually made me cry the most.
She watched him trace the same pink strap hanging limp from her left shoulder, and remembered the feeling of his hand there, easing the same strap aside, and the heat of his mouth on her skin, and the exquisite paths of sensation in every way, as though it had really happened, as though their bodies had come together and not just their minds. The cruelty of it was a knife to her soul. Laszlo had never touched her, and now he was, and she couldn't feel a thing.
That's really painful. I've only seen each other in dreams, and the moment that he could actually feel her body, and she's dead, which is really horrible and tragic. She could still see him. There's also that part when Laszlo left on Rosala's carrying her body, and her soul was left on the Weep. Actually, that broke my heart. And also the scene where Sarai saw her father cried for her death, and I think it was so horrible.
Sarai saw everything and could do nothing. When Laszlo lifted her body down, she couldn't even follow. Some final invisible morning line snapped, and she was just cast adrift. At once there was a sensation of unraveling. She felt herself beginning to come apart. Here was her evanescence, and it was like dying all over again. She remembered the dream of the Mahala, when the mist unmade her, and all sense of physical being vanished. And for one thing, one solid thing, Laszlo's hand gripping hers. Not now. He took her body and left her soul. She cried out after him, but her screams were silent, even to herself. And with a flash of metal and a swirl of smoke, he was gone. I'm
going to end it right here, edit real fast, post it, and go and start reading the Muse of Nightmares. If anybody is curious out there, I'm actually filming with my phone, because I'm filming on my phone and the quality is horrible. The reason that I'm filming with my phone is because first, I don't have a budget for a camera, and second is so that I can edit it right away, because I have an app in my phone that will edit the videos right away, so that I can post them as fast as I can every time I finished filming another video. That would be all for today's video. If you would like more videos, you can click the subscription down below and click the bell. Click the bell for notifications. You can also like the video if you like my review or anything, or if you like the video at all. And then there's also the comment section where you can link down recommendations, or you just want to say something else. The next video will be about The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli, or probably be about Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. And because I will be going on a trip, I'll probably be listening to Muse of Nightmares, because it's a long trip going to the beach from where I live, and I'm pretty excited because it's going to be a family event, because everybody would be going, and pretty excited. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.